creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It's fake, it's Maxwell House, it's not the real McCoy. We are on a no sugar added lifestyle because you got to keep the body on the inside as healthy and happy as the body on the outside. So we've changed our diet, we've changed our eating habits, and that's all it is. We just don't add unnecessary sugar to our diet. We try to do everything as whole and natural as possible. As nature gives it to us, we try to consume it, except we do have a cheat day because I'm not into deprivation. I really am not. My grandmother used to have a theory. You know, my mother and father, they didn't want us to have a lot of junk food, but when we went to my grandmother's house, she had a candy drawer, and she also served soda. And her thing was, if you don't allow the child to have a little bit of sweet when they get out in the world without you, they are going to do nothing but consume the sweet. And that's when problems are going to arise. They're going to overconsume. They're going to go to the movie theaters with their friends. They're going to overindulge. And then y'all going to be puking in the toilet with them all night long. So my grandmother was always like, let them have a little bit. They can have a candy out of the candy drawer and a little sip of soda while they're here, and that's it. On a Sunday. That was our thing. So we're kind of like living that again in my old age. And one thing that I kept on my one option day is my mocha Dunkin' large 5 sugars. I've been with Dunk since they invented themselves. Yes, I have. I was started with the hot chocolate. Then when I was 17, they invented Dunkachino. That was the gateway into my consumption of coffee. And time to make the donuts. When I was 19, I was pregnant with our first child, and that summer for the 4th of July, Bristol 4th of July parade, if you don't know what the Bristol 4th of July parade is in Rhode Island, it's a big deal. It is the largest and the oldest parade in the country on the 4th of July. And they came out with the first flavored coffees, the first shots, and one of them was coconut, and that was it. I was hooked. I was a Dunkin' Donut girl forever. I got transported about 15 years ago into the wilds of northern Maine. Yes, I did. And the nearest Dunkin' Donuts was in Bangor, 3 hours away. But you can take the girl out of Rhode Island, but you are not going to take the Dunkin' Donuts out of her veins. Rhode Island girls are crafty, we're creative, we're smart, we're sophisticated. We are just amazing ladies, and I figured out, yes I did, how to get my Dunkin' in an area that had no Dunkin'. I recruited friends and family back home to mail me boxes of Dunkin' Donuts ground coffee. At that time, they only had decaf and regular. There was no such thing as flavored ground coffee. And the boxes would come up. Now, we've been here almost 15 years, and much as getting to know everybody, much as I do here with you guys, Coffee with Kerri. It's always been Coffee with Kerri in the neighborhood, and go around and everybody socializing with everybody. The kids are all in school together, so everybody having coffee together and talking about the kids and the town and the this and the that and the happenings. Well, they come to my house and they get this coffee and they, wow, this is great coffee. What is it? It's just a little something from Rhode Island. Well, one day they came over and the bag was on the counter, and the girls came over and saw the bag and they're like, "You went to Bangor?" I was like, "No, the family sends it up from Rhode Island." So the orders got bigger and more frequent. And as with everything, Maine has a lot of quirky bits and pieces. If you ever read a Stephen King novel, the characters in there, that's not a far stretch, okay? We have quirky people, places, and things up here. And Rock and Roll Mailman says, "Kerri, I'm not supposed to ask, but I'm noticing that the packages from Rhode Island are more frequent and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Can I ask what's in the packages?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dunkin' Donut coffee." I was the neighborhood coffee dealer. About 6 or 7 years ago, himself comes home on a lunch break and says, "Guess what they're putting in the Circle K?" I said, "What are they putting in the Circle K downtown?" He says, "A Dunkin' Donuts Express." What? You better not be shitting me, man. This is not something you play with because, Rhode Island girls and all, you don't want to play, okay? Because you ain't going to win. He's like, "No, I'm serious. They're putting a Dunkin' Donuts Express." So we got a Dunkin' Donuts Express, and now we got a full-fledged Dunkin' Donuts restaurant downtown. We are the last Dunkin' Donuts as you drive through and head out of the States and into Canada. And if you're coming from Canada to the States, We are the first Dunkin' Donuts that you're gonna see. When himself and I take we go spring, summer, and fall. We go once a month. We go up along the Canadian border. We ride the border. We look out over the St. John River. We see Canada, all the farmland, all the towns. It's very beautiful. Looks much like Maine. And I have to go south, downtown, grab 2 extra large Dunkin' Donut coffees just to make that trip up north. We like to go up there and frequent local businesses. So when you see us at your local businesses or your farmer's market, we just support the local economy. That's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, I hope you're having a high vibe and kind of day. I hope that you are putting out a lot of love and kindness into the world, and that is coming back into your life tenfold. The energy you put out into the world, into the universe, comes back into your life in vast abundance. So if you're putting out positive energy, you're getting a lot of positivity and happiness in your life. And if you're putting out negative energy, low vibrational negative energy, a lot of shit's happening to you right now. So you better change your frequency. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, I don't make the rules, but we do need to live by them, and they are the law of attraction. What you want wants you back. You just got to be right on that right same energy vibration with your goal. It is new moon day. Happy new moon in Cancer. Cancer is a nourishing, nurturing, emotional, kind, compassionate, caring, giving, loving energy. If you have a Cancerian in your life, you know that that person will give and give and give 1,000%. Although you will also know that crabs have pinchers, and you don't want to overstep or take advantage over and over and over again, because they do have a line, but it is a lot of pushing to hit that line. You know that they want you to realize your hopes, goals, and dreams, so they will do everything to protect you from anything that would disrupt that for you. They really, you tell them a goal that you want, and they will take that goal as if it was a seed of their own and nurture and love you and love it into existence. They want you to participate in their successes. They do not pull that ladder up behind them. They give and give and give, and whatever success they have, they give it to the world, to their people, to their circle, 110%. You only have to ask a Cancer something once, and it is done. That is the kind of energy that we're dealing with. It's also a dreamy energy. Cancerians love to dream. They set very high goals, high lofty goals. They love to dream about goodness in the future and things that they want happening to them and to others. I have a Cancerian in my life. Himself is a Cancerian, and I'm Aquarian. Stop laughing. Opposites attract. I can already hear you guys. I wish there was a fly on that wall once in a while. Like I said, opposites attract. He's a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. He's from Maine. I'm from Rhode Island. You see how this works? I'm not going to say polar opposites, because we do have a lot that is a not polar opposites, but a little opposition in there. Other things that we're completely polar opposites on. Our energy together helps to create a Sag, a Gemini, and an Aries, and our energy combined really balanced our home life out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Aquarians are accused of many, many, many things, like too much logic, not enough emotion. We're very emotional on the inside. We're not like we don't project it. We don't wear our hearts on our sleeves, in other words. But we are highly emotional people, but we can also, we can be mean. As good as we are, we can be mean. We just don't deal with drama. We don't deal with bullshit. My husband is so much better at that when it comes to that. The kids already know. If it is something that is very logical, go to mom. If it is something, that is more of a dramatic thing, check with dad first. See if mom's up to handling it. And that's just how it goes. That's just how life is. Our kids are very well-adjusted 30-somethings. We have 3 of them. They're in their 30s. There you go. They all have lives of their own. 3 beautiful grandchildren. And, life is good. Life is happy. And life is very fruitful for them. So we are a very, very blessed family. But under these moons, under this moon, this new moon, you're going to really want to journal. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, do your journaling for the full moon, which is coming up in 2 weeks, and that will be the Leo energy on that. So, journal your hopes, goals, dreams, aspiration, and future into existence. That's how I do it. Other people have vision boards. Vision boards don't work for me, but hey, if you do the vision board, if you do the manifestation board, please keep up with it. These are 3 very important days for you to add and or subtract from your boards. Because sometimes, we get into, even with journaling, there's things that I wrote a few months ago that no longer serve me. And now I'm going to redirect that energy to something that much more suits my needs in the now, right here. And that's the way it is. Same thing with the manifestation board. There are things on your vision board that a few months ago were, the cat's pajamas, and today it wouldn't fit into the new happenings that have happened in your life. I mean, you could meet somebody new, so maybe the house on the coast in California, that's no longer a thing for you anymore because the person you met is in Florida. I don't know. You want to take that picture, maybe move it on off because the relationship in Florida will be more important to you. That's what I mean. It's just like, that's what happens. You can change things. The universe listens to us in all things. Now, under this energy, under the Cancerian energy, the universe is going to make sure that the things that you left in the past, you want in the past. You're going to make very darn sure of it. So there's going to be a lot of emotional play. There's going to be a lot of old faces, old places, old things, old memories. And they are going to, things you thought you were over. You might have got, it might have been 3 years ago, 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. But you thought you were over all this. And then boom, rears its head and you're so emotional about it and you don't understand why. Well, that's the universe giving you an option. Do you want to draw that energy back in, or do you want to let it go? And that will be your choice. The longer you struggle with energies, the longer they're around, the more stagnant it makes your future goals, dreams, and aspirations and manifestations come in. That's it. So the universe is going to check in on you. People ask me all the time, everybody knows I journal. If you've been here before, I do a lot of journaling. A lot of my life around my homestead is incorporated into my practice, my daily chores. I'm always out in the garden. I'm always out in nature. I'm always in the barn. That clears my head. That grounds me. It allows me to take a step back, especially when I'm caring for my animals and I'm in the barn, whether it's feeding them, hanging out with them. So we just hang out, cleaning the stalls out. It's just some one-on-one time where I can just completely empty my emotions, empty my thoughts, and it's very meditative to work with the livestock for me. What works for me does not necessarily work for other people. Himself and I, we do a lot of manifestations together. Like I always tell you guys, I have my hopes, dreams, goals, and aspirations. He has his business. I have my business. We have our life together. We have our marriage, and we have different hopes, dreams, and goals for all of it. And we do a couples cooking night. We try to do that once a week, and in that we try to use herbs and foods that will help bring out our manifestations individually and together. So a lot of times, we're always bouncing things back and forth off of each other, making sure if I want to bob, he wants to weave, and kind of get it all in sync. And then we do our couples cooking night, and we try to bring the entire pot of it together and sit down at the table. And sometimes the meal is great, and sometimes it's not. And on those days that we're like, a little too much of this, a little too much of that, those manifestations just don't come in for us. Another thing that I do is, if y'all know, I'm the fiber expert, I'm the fiber queen. I do a lot of work with spinning, especially around the new moons and the full moons. I hand spin, I spindle. Different than using my machines, different than using the spinning wheels. That I do for production, and that I do when the moon energy isn't so hot and heavy. But I find that using my spindles and spindling, really it's kind of like doing yoga, real yoga, not Western yoga, not exercise yoga, but real meditative yoga. I know people already go ahead, get mad. All you girls going to yoga class, get mad. That ain't no damn yoga. But whatever. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll call it a day. I spindle. And I spindle my hopes, my dreams, and my creations into being. And this works for me. And this is something that we do, a craft that we do on the homestead. I'm going to be putting up a video on spindling, and spinning on my big wheels. This is something that we do. We do it out of necessity on the homestead. This is socks. This could be mittens, hats, scarves, sweaters. This could be anything. This is just the raw ingredient to what it hopes to be. I think this is going to end up being a pair of socks. This is Norwegian gray wool, and it makes great socks. It makes a great, when you put this with a little bit of with Shetland and you knit them together, you get great mittens. They're so warm, but the socks are amazing in the Norwegian wool. So there we have it. This is what works for me. This is my little daily practices, aside from incense burning, aside from sage burning, aside from all those little body oils and things that you can use to focus your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. I incorporate my daily have-to crafts into my practice. Sorry about that. We had a quick interruption. Somebody popped on by. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, if you have any kind of art, any kind of craft, you can absolutely focus that into your practices. Spell work, craft practice doesn't always have to be so rigid and from a book. In fact, it's actually better when you're just doing you and doing your thing, no matter what it is. Some people paint. Some people just garden. Some people just like to sit back, kick back, and relax, sunbathe, whatever. You can turn that into a helpful piece of your manifestations. So with that, I wish you a happy, healthy, prosperous new moon day. Beautiful creatures of the world, carpe diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.